Hi all, Kyber1 here, and today we are going to discuss Mythic Odysseys of Theros. Alright, and this is the foil covering, and I wanted to go with this over the base one because this is a Magic the Gathering product and this is closer to foil. And as you can see, beautiful art all the way around, and I believe that's Heliod's Spear. Is that right? Oh god, it's just beautiful. So Theros is interesting, in which the gods actually walk amongst humans. You have iconoclasts, which don't believe in the reverence of the gods because they don't believe that they are worthy of worship, because that's their belief. Theros was interesting, in which it turned kind of the perspective of Greek mythology on its head. And every character begins with one supernatural gift. If you're playing a Theros campaign, you have Anvil Rot, which means you were forged by a god. You have Heroic Destiny, which is, you know, the heroic keyword. It plays on that. Iconoclast, once again, they don't believe in the gods' worthiness of worship. Inscrutable, Lifelong Companion, Nyxborn. Yes, you can play Nyxborn. Oracle, not just a class. It's so good. You get Oracle Curse. So once again, the art very fantastic. Pious, Unscarred. And then for races, you have Human, most boring. Centaur, Leonin. Yeah, just awesome. Minotaur, Satyr, yeah, they love to party. Satyrs are very red-green. Triton, basically like, land-walking merfolk. So think Aquaman, but with more gills and stuff. That's a joke. Subclass options: Bard, College of Eloquence. I don't play Bard. Paladin, Oath of Glory. Now, I like the idea of the Oath of Glory. Basically, it's like Jason and the Argonauts, that sort of concept. But before this, I didn't really give the Paladin a second look. I usually play a fighter that goes with the Eldritch Knight route. And I usually have a companion fighter. And one of us usually plays a halfling. That way we can be within the same 5-foot space, so our entire party is covered by the shield. And then, yeah. But the Oath of Glory Paladin is interesting. I don't want to really ruin any of this for you guys. I'm just letting you know that this book is actually worth $50, regardless if you get this alternate cover or not. And the reason why I believe it's worth $50 is you have so many new races, you have the supernatural gifts aspect, you have walking gods, you have the Chimera creator later, background, athlete, and then you have all these different sort of events and stuff. Gods of Theros. This right here is super cool. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 gods. And, okay, worship. Piety. The piety system is very cool. It's like piety is like an expanded leveling system, and that to me is incredible, because if you're fighting a supernatural being and being puppeted by the gods, they will reward you for their service. Now, if you're familiar with the actual story for Theros, you know that some of these Greek-inspired gods can be awfully petty. And if you develop abilities that they cannot, they may kill you. Gorgeous art. I just wish you guys were here in person so you could see this. See, I believe that's her symbol. Yeah, here's Erebos. Yeah, so their symbols are down here. Oh man, that is sick in a good way. I really enjoy the art to content on these pages, because these are deities in this realm. And therefore, like, they have a presence. And they take enough space here to show you that presence. And I don't want to go over all 15 gods, because that would drag out the video significantly. If you want gods to walk among your mortal beings and influence them directly and have a level of interaction beyond like what you normally see, like AD&D and 2nd edition did a very bad thing by giving gods stats, because that meant you could kill a god. And like the how can some mortal thing, oh look, I went and picked up the spear, and yet how hard is it to kill a werewolf in those editions, or a vampire? Like, I don't know. It's just, these have so much more tangibility. Oh man, that is gorgeous. I mean, I love how it forms from like this ethereal kind of that void. It's been a while since Theros has been in my mind, because I've been doing other things, but the Knicks. I think it's the Knicks. But yeah. So, and I believe Nyx is Greek for night. Don't quote me on that. But there's so much cool stuff going on here. And this is a very excellent framework for how to introduce your clerics to certain situations. Like, say your cleric in whatever D&D or Pathfinder or whatever fantasy role-playing game you're playing is consulting their god. They should be rewarded for that. And the piety system doubles that effort. I mean, the paladin could definitely have a piety characteristic. The monk, normal characters can have piety. It's just executed in such a way that you don't need you don't need these outlandish things, because this tells you these things right here. Earning and losing piety. So this is for Mogus. You increase your piety score to Mogus when you expand the god's influence in the world in a concrete way through acts such as these: defeating a champion of Iros. Sorry. Taking vengeance against a powerful foe, burning a polis or settlement to the ground, desecrating a temple to Iros as an offering to Mogus. Your piety score to Mogus decreases if you diminish his influence in the world, contradict his ideals, or make him look weak or ineffectual through acts such as these: failing to carry out a sworn vendetta, publicly displaying weakness or compassion, rejecting a duel or challenge out of fear. Okay, so we have 4 ways to earn piety, 3 ways to lose piety. And that's an excellent build. Okay. Devotee, piety 3+, Mogus is straight. Okay, so as a devotee of Mogus, you have sworn yourself to be a brutal combatant. Shown yourself, sorry. My laptop almost died. I had to flip on the battery. You can call on his favor and cast Wrathful Smite with a straight. His blessing manifests as a blood-red glow around your weapon, causing it to shed dim light in a 5-foot radius until the spell ends. You can cast this spell in this way a number of times equal to your Constitution modifier, minimum of once. You regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Constitution is your spellcasting ability for this spell. Mogus's Votary. Piety 10+, the trait. You can cast Blinding Smite with this trait. Once you cast the spell in this way, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest. Constitution is your spellcasting for this spell. Blah, 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 blah. His Disciple. Okay, 25+. Okay, countless battles and vicious visions have given you focus. You have advantage on saving throws against being charmed or frightened. Cool. Champion of Slaughter, 50+. You can increase your strength or constitution score by 2 and also increase your maximum for that score by 2. Yeah. That's awesome. So, basically, doing what your god wants rewards you with tangible abilities. This is why I'm hyping the piety system. And you don't need to be a specific class. I mean, look over here. It says suggested classes, suggested cleric domains, suggested backgrounds. And there is so much character development as you play thanks to the piety system. And as you remember, the guild system from Guilds of Ravnica, with these two books, you have immense creation powers to base 10 new guilds and 15 different gods. Just, I knew that one day Magic would step into D&D. And with that, like, there's so much more thought behind how the system works. I mean, Magic system, the 5 mana, the mana pool, all that, just, they didn't port that over. They ported the concepts that would deepen almost place Magic the Gathering as an evergreen status into D&D. And evergreen means it doesn't go away. It's not going to season out. It's there for good. And you have so many cool gods, so many cool features, new races. Try not to make this too long, but as you can see, there's so much content. And then they have this calendar here. And this month only occurs once every 3 years. The 13th month only occurs once every 3 years. That tells you something's entirely different about the cosmology. Theros is fascinating. Ravnica is fascinating. Myth of Tirmara the Murder King. When Phoenix made his escape from the underworld, there was one witness to his escape, an unremarkable soul called Timurit. Sharing what he'd seen with the god of the dead, Timurit received a cursed blessing from Eberros. He would be restored to the mortal world, but as he returned and with the task of slaying Phoenix. Timurit took up the quest, but as Phoenix was masked, he proved difficult to locate. So Timurit began slaughtering every mortal he encountered, confident that one of those victims would be Phoenix. Yet when Phoenix became a god, he evaded his pursuer, leaving Timurit and his legions of the returned to eternally fruitlessly kill in Eberros' name. That is very Greek inspired, but definitely not anything that happened there. Um, yeah, well, just this is beautiful. The miracles and conflicts of the gods play out endlessly in the stars of Nyx. The underworld ward of Nerano. As with this clash between the gods, Karametra and Pharika, the quarrels of deities and demigods often spill from Nyx into the realm of mortals. Creating Theros adventures, god-based adventures. Divine assistants, villains and monsters, gods as campaign villains. And then here's a list of omens. Oh boy. It's kind of early. Okay, let's get through this section. And then you have divine schemes for every god. And every god has some other god that they're not necessarily favorable towards. Oh, look at that art. That's awesome. And you get all these different temple layouts. Oh, once again, beautiful art. And I said the gods were petty. Every god could be used as a villain. And to me, that makes this more viable than the deities and demigods book. Yeah, this friends info section. Yeah, the bestiary section. The bronze sable. I love this thing. I don't care. Like, yeah, just like some of these things, like they're not the most powerful or most useful, but they're here because they need to exist to give more realism to the lore and the world. Look at this. Are you going to go buy the book now? Look at that. Ghost Blade Eidolon. Yeah, I have my camera sitting on top of this thing. So, okay. Is that better? Okay. Yeah, I'm needing to reach across the front. Okay. So, ferns and fuzz. Yeah, there's just a lot of really cool stuff in here. And wherever the chimera was, oh yes, the chimera section right here. Page 216. Body composition. Head attacks, breath weapons, tail attacks. Several reasons to get this. And I just woke up and I would have normally recorded this video last night, so sorry if it's a bit late getting uploaded, but I am not currently that awake. But I wanted to share this with you guys. It's not the greatest video, but there it is. Kyber 1 out.